Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and today I just want to tell you guys a little story about something that happened to me today, and give you a heads up and a good reason for why you want to have one of these things on your machine. I've never had this happen before, so I hadn't anticipated this as being a problem. But I got to my job this morning, and when I went to reposition my machine, and with my machine, you can see there's a handle releases right here, which is handy, but there's a safety lock right here, safety lock button, and normally when I go to move it around, I will depress the safety lock button, and the switch, actually just did it, and the switch will, is these handles right here, or these, the grips right there, and there we go. Okay, so what happens is you push the button here, and you would lift this up, and what happened is when I lifted it up, I'm going to pull that out of there, it locked in place and it did not release. Now, because I actually didn't have the cable hooked in here, so that wasn't a problem. But if I had, I would then be in a bit of a bind because my machine would be running, and if I had already put it onto the drive pad, and it turned on, I would have had a bit of a interesting situation. So my thought was, as I realized what had happened, it would jammed on. I thought, wow, this is a good reason to have this locking mechanism on your power cord, because I could have leaned it back and just undone the cord, and it would have shut off, and I could have dealt with the machine. But if I had not had the attachable power cord, which this machine did not come with, I wouldn't have been able to shut it off. But there's two other reasons why I would say that this is a good idea to have on your machine, whether it be an OP or a rotary, but especially a rotary. For that reason, because you can't really leave a rotary machine sitting there running. That's especially if you've got your drive plate on. But the other reason is that it's much lighter to pick the machine up without the power cord. I don't store the machine in the van with the power cord on it. I got it sitting, hanging right beside the machine. So when I pick the machine up and put it in the van, or take it out of the van, or if I had to pick it up over some steps or whatever, if I needed to do that, or you need to do that with your machine. My machine has big wheels, so normally I just bump it up and down steps. But if I ever have to pick it up, not having the power cord on makes it fair amount lighter, and then it's just more convenient if you're cleaning away and you get to the end of where your power cord is plugged in, 30 feet or 50 feet away, and then you stop and you want to reposition the machine. Well, you can just disconnect the power cord and just wheel the machine right away to wherever you're going, and then go and unplug the power cord. So those are good reasons why not to or why to have a locking power cord on there. My power cord, let's see, I got one. Well, I got one here. Oh, somewhere here. Yeah. No, that's an extension cord. But the other end of the power cord, of course, looks like this. This is a locking one. This is the one I prefer this type myself. I know some guys, they just use a standard cord lock, or just the push-in type. Whereas this one is actually, you push it in, then you twist it slightly, and it locks in place. I prefer that because then it doesn't undo. But anyway, that's the way I prefer it. So if the machine had jammed on, then I could have just leaned it back on my leg, and then just disconnected it, and the machine would have shut off. So those are reasons to do it. And what had happened, in case you're wondering, is there's a spring in behind here. the safety lock, and it had actually broken, and it had jammed up in here. So when the switch went to the on position, it had interfered with the movement of the handles here, and it had jammed. The way my machine is not the same as other machines. As you can see, it's got a different sort of a setup where the whole switch assembly just comes right out of there. And there's the actual, this is the actual switch, and there's the wiring, and there's the safety fuse. But everybody's machine will be a little bit different. This is actually a European-made machine, made in Switzerland, actually. Very well made. And if you're curious, I'm going to open this up for those of you who might be curious, because I'm going to show you just how this handle mechanism works. You going out? I'm recording. I'll just be a few more minutes. You want to come and join me? No. Oh, darn. My wife didn't want to come and join us. So, now when I open it up, there's a ball bearing that's going to come out of there. So I got to be careful with that. Let's see. I'm going to move it forward as much as I can. Now I'm going to try to carefully. Oh, I got one screw still tight. A little bit. Oh, ball bearing at my foot. Anyway, there's the bearing. See it down there? So this is the mechanism. Screws everywhere. It's actually really quite interesting how this works. But this this is the arm, and see if I can do this now. I can do it this way, I think. Yeah, we'll go this way. I'll show you how it works. Okay, you go in there. This goes in here. I'm gonna lean it back. Okay, here's the mechanism. Just so you, in case you're probably curious. So, the light is not going to help here. I'm going to try and turn it around so you get the light on there. Okay. Hang on a minute. Oop. I did it wrong. I did it wrong. Hang on a minute. It'll make sense in a sec. Hang on a sec. Okay. So that pin goes in there. So the way this thing works, and every machine is different, but I know some of you guys are mechanically inclined, you want to see. So this is actually what activates the switch, which is here. I've got it on. Where am I? Oh, there we go. Okay, that goes there. And the other arm goes here. Okay. So you can see the switch is right there. So when I pull the arm here, activates the switch, which is right there. It pushes down. So I'll push that out of the way for a sec. and the two ball bearings in this case. There's two of them on this machine, and they sit in this little hollow right there. And when the machine leans back, they actually sort of jump out of place, I guess, or fall out of place, which then gives the switch arms the ability to move up. So when it's in the upright position, they sit in this little area right here. It's really quite ingenious and simple. Don't want to lose it though. Hang on a sec. And there's one on each side, and so that's the safety lock, and the button. Okay, the button, there it is. And the spring. So the button sits in here, and here's the spring that broke. It's actually almost a 1/4 inch of it came off, basically. I stretched it out a bit to get it to get through the day, but this is the safety lock. It sits right there, and so it pushes up against the other side of the handle there. So that's how that broke, jammed the whole thing in place because the safety lock wouldn't come back out. Come back. And now the handle mechanism. It's this rod right here, so it pivots off of here. And when all I have to do is just move it up and down like that, and the rod goes down to the bottom, and there's a pinch mechanism down there, which I've shown in the past in a video where I went into great detail about this. I think I showed that pinching mechanism, which is actually located in this little, just right under here actually. So that's how that works. Anyway, the point of the video, of course, was to talk about the locking cord and why it's a good idea to have one. So there's my thoughts on that. So there you go. Hope that will save. You never know. Maybe it'll save you a lot of grief one day. So I hope that'll help. So have a good day.